In this lesson, I'm going to be taking you through the fundamentals of Python, and I will teach you everything you need to learn to become a professional and a pro Python programmer. I'm going to be teaching you the following, as you see on the screen: the different data types and how to use different characters in Python. We will sail down. We will go from one to the other. You will learn how to use the print function, the input function, and a lot more of them. I will also be teaching you the different types of files in Python and how to create and run different types of Python files right here inside VS Code. So to get started, all you need to do is go over to this icon which says VS Code, Visual Studio Code. I already did a video where I showed you how you can download, install, and set up both VS Code and Python in your local computer. So please, if you have not watched that video, I advise you pause this one right now, go back to my channel, download those videos and watch them, and you will be able to install and set up both Python and VS Code in your local computer. So right now we have our VS Code open, and the next thing you need to do is to create a folder, and in this folder we store our Python file. Please note that every Python code is written in a Python file, and your Python file has to be stored in a folder, and you either keep your folder locally with you in your local computer, or you can store them in a cloud platform. Okay, so first I will go over to this one that says open folder. We don't have any folder, so we'll create a new folder, and when you click on it, it's going to pop up this other window. And right now let's go to desktop, and when we click on desktop, it will show us this, and just right click and this little window is going to pop up, and you can click on new, go to folder, and then let's call a new folder Python 1. And then I'm going to click on it. When I click on it, this folder will be created, and I'll come over to this one that says select folder, and congratulations, VS Code will import that folder into VS Code, and we'll be able to use and navigate through that folder from VS Code. So the next thing we'll do, let's go over and we will create a Python file. To be able to write your Python code, you need to write them inside a Python file. So there are different types of Python files you can create. We have the Python script file, the notebook file, and there are other files. We have the terminal files, we have the Python files. There are a lot of them, but for the sake of this video, we will be using two types of file. We'll be using the Python script file and the Python notebook file. And so first, let's create the Python script file, and to do that we have to click on this plus sign here that says create a new file, and this file will be stored in the folder we created earlier, the one we called Python 1. And so I'm just going to call this one lesson 1, and I'm going to add the file type, which is .py, and when I click enter, it's going to pop open this other bigger window, and right here I'll be explaining to you the meaning of everything you see on the screen. This is actually called the tab environment, the tab area, and so you can navigate from one page to the other, and you can open so many Python files and so many pages, and they will be stored here as tabs, and you'll be able to navigate easily from one to the other. And so this is the tab, and here we also have, here you can call file, and here you can be able to click and navigate to whatsoever file. You can create new text file, and so please take your time to learn each of those. And you also have the edit, you can undo. So even if you type yes, you can also come here and you do a kind of redo, and it will go back to the previous. It's just like using Control Z, okay, and it will go back to the previous interface. And this is selection, so please take your time to go through each of these. This is also known as view, and from this view you can work on your appearance, your command tablet, and also open new view, open new charts. And we also have these three dots here, and right here you can work on your code, either run your code and You can also create a terminal. A terminal in Python here, in VS Code here, and in whatsoever environment you're using, whether PyCharm, GoColab, this terminal acts as the display screen and also act as a place where you can install Python packages and Python library. Please keep the calms. When we get to that point, I will tell you what a Python library or a Python package is. And so we have here, this icon is called the Explorer and is used to navigate into or out of the file Explorer. So when you click on it, it's going to pop open this Explorer. To hide it, you can click on it. And so this is called the search. When you use this, you can be able to search out a particular text or a particular code out of the entire code script. And this is also called the source control. This is the GitHub enablement. We also have a function for debugging and running your debug. Then beautifully we have extensions here, and with this you can be able to install extensions right inside VS Code. And so we'll be installing an extension, and one of the extensions we'll be installing is the Jupyter Notebook extension. And with this Jupyter Notebook, we'll be able to create a notebook. A notebook is a different kind of Python file. It's different from this .py file, which is our Python script. And to create this notebook, we have to go over here. I want you to create this notebook right now and just type the name of the notebook, Jupyter. And when you type it, there are different ones that will be showing, and just click on this one from Microsoft. And when you click on it, it's going to open right here, and you will see install. For me, I've already installed it for the sake of this video. So for you, it will show install, and you just need to click on install and it will get installed in less than a minute. And so we'll be able to use Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is a kind of notebook. So there are different notebooks. There's Google Colab notebook, there's Cargo, Databricks notebook. There are many types of notebook you can use, but I want you to use Jupyter for the sake of Jupyter is more universal than most of the other type of notebook. So whenever you mention the word Jupyter Notebook, anyone who is a data scientist or a programmer will always know what you're talking about. So let's go over to our file Explorer. We've created a file and we are just going to write in that file. And the first thing I want us to do is to write a text that says, "Welcome to Python." And so I want Python to do this for us. So we are going to be using some functions which are known as command functions. And with these functions, you command Python to carry out a particular task. And one of these functions is called the print function. And all we need to do to use the print function is to type the word print with parentheses, which is called bracket. And then if it's a text, we have to add a quote or a double quote. So you can either use a single quote or a double quote, but it should be two, one at the right and one at the left hand side, and your text has to come inside. And it's all your choice whether to use the single or the double. And let's add a text that says "Welcome to Python." And let's add this text, and we've written this text. And when we execute this, Python is going to receive an instruction from us to print out this statement. And so it's only going to print out this one, as you can see here. Let me make this more bigger for better visibility. And so Python is going to print out only this one. So to execute this code and get the text printed out, all you need to do is come over to this one that says "Run Python file." And when you click it, it's going to pop open the terminal I explained earlier. And this terminal for us now is going to serve as our display screen. And you can see the result has been displayed right here in our terminal, which says "Welcome to Python." So congratulations guys, you already wrote your first Python code. And so we can write as many as we want, as many lines of code. And you can, let's just do something. Let's say we want to write "Welcome to data" also. And so I'm going to erase this, and I will call this one "Welcome to data," and I will also run it. But to run this one now, we have to go back again and use this play button, which is the execute button. and when I click on it, it's going to run everything. But what if I wanted to run only the second one that says welcome to data? But you see, the Python actually executed everything because everything is written in the same script file. And so to be able to interact better with our environment or with our code, all we need to do is to switch over to the other file. Remember, we have installed an extension called Jupyter, and so we are going to create a notebook called Jupyter Notebook. And so if you're using another development environment like PyCharm or Google Colab or GCP, you find yourself creating another type of notebook. But basically, you are creating what is known as a notebook. So we'll just come here also and we'll say lesson 1 again, but this time it's not just an ordinary Python script, it's a notebook. And so the file type is called the .ipynb, and I'll just do this and I will click on enter. And when I click on enter, it's going to create a new tab here, and the new tab will have an interface like this. Let me quickly go down here and I will close the panel. To close the panel, all you need to do is just to click on hide panel, and it's going to hide the panel. And so right now we have our Jupyter open. You can navigate back to the Python file and you see it here, and then we have it open, and you can see we have the first one says, the first button here says generate. This enables you to use things like artificial intelligence to generate code. So you see start to generate code, start chat to generate code. So you can actually use artificial intelligence like Microsoft Copilot and the rest of them, ChatGPT and Gemini 2.5 Flash inside VS Code. But I would not advise you to use that since you are a beginner and you are learning Python afresh. So let's go over. The next one says plus code, which is used to add a new cell. So what is a cell? A cell is a box where you can write your code, and you can write as many lines of code as you want inside a cell, and you can create so many cells and you can run them individually. So I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to say, please Python, the same way you printed welcome to Python in the script file, let's also print the same thing in notebook file. And I'm just going to come over to display that says execute, or we can use a shortcut control and enter. And when you click on display, it's going to pop up a kernel. It says select kernel, and this is actually asking you to select a Python version. Because remember, I showed you in that video I uploaded. Please go back and watch that video. You can navigate back to my channel, open YouTube, go to my channel, and you'll see I did those videos showing you how to download both Python and VS Code and how to set them up and have them running. So we are using the same Python we installed earlier right here inside our VS Code. And so we're just going to select Python. We want to use Python, and then you choose the Python environment. For you, you might be seeing only the latest one you installed, but I have 3 different Python versions. So I'm just going to pick the one I want, and I'm just going to choose this one. And all I need to do, I have selected that one. I need to come back and I click on this one, and the next thing, it's going to work like a miracle. It's going to execute the code, and you see here, welcome to Python. I can also create another cell by clicking below this other cell, and you see it's going to pop up here. We'll create another one, and you can also write the same code, or let's say welcome to data this time instead of welcome to Python. And so we will just run this one, and it will give us the response. And we can also come again, create another cell, and we can say welcome to Africa. Welcome to Africa. And when you run this one also, let's use Control Enter as a shortcut. You see the result appears immediately. But so interesting, we can decide to run, let's say you've written these 3 different cells containing the different codes in them. And so this is the first cell. You can decide to run the 3rd one first and run this one again. And to clear the output of code you just ran, all you need to do, come over to these three dots, and then you can say more action. It says clear cell output, and you can clear the output. You can also come here if you want to delete the cell. You can click on it. I'm not going to do that, but if you click on this delete, it's going to delete. Okay, let me show you. Once you click on this, it's going to delete. So you see it's deleted. And we can also do something called Ctrl+Z, and it's going to carry out the undo function and take us to the previous place, okay, which is what I just did. So this is the difference between the notebook and the Python script. So we're just going to concentrate on this notebook. Congratulations, guys. So the first thing I want us to learn now is the print function. The print function. And to do this, the next one here is called markdown. This helps you to add a kind of heading. Let's say, since we're starting the next phase of our lesson, which is the print function, I want to give this part a name, so that anyone that sees this notebook or this code will know that this is what we are actually dealing with. So I'm just going to add a markdown, and to do that, you click on this plus markdown sign, and then you can type the name of your heading. And so we can call this the print function, and you can run this one by clicking Ctrl Enter. That shortcut has been automatically stored by VS Code, okay, but you can change it to whatsoever you choose to, but we are okay with Ctrl Enter. So if you try Ctrl Enter and it does not work for you, you can go over to settings, and if you click on settings, you can go to keyboard shortcuts, and then you can choose the shortcut you prefer for whichever function. And using shortcuts will give you speed also. Okay guys, let's go over. So what's the print function? The same thing we actually did here. The print function in Python is used to display the output of a code, or to display a text, or to display an instruction. Let's say we want to ask Python, what is your name? And so to write out that text, you need to use the print function, okay? And so to use the print function, we use the text, the name print, and I'm going to write out the text which says print, and I'm going to add plus parentheses, your bracket. And so please, for now, forget about this one. It's just giving you a kind of clue on what to do. So let's just go over, and I will need to add a quote. So it's either you're using double quotes, two. You see, Python or the VS Code will automate things for you. It automatically makes it double now. Or you can also use the single quote, and then one on the left, one on the right, and then your text come inside. And we can say, let's ask the question, what is your name? With a question mark. And so you see the text is inside this quote, and one on the right, one on the left, and then the brackets covering them, and then we have them after the print text here. And so you can see the color has changed depending on how you've set your VS Code, or depending on the environment you are using for your code writing. So to run this, I'm just going to go over, and I will click on display sign here, and it's going to print it out for me. But take note that it did not print the double quote or the quote, and it did not also print the brackets or parentheses, whatsoever you're calling it. And you also see that I did not print it, so because it's a function, and it will only print out whatsoever is inside the print function. So this is how to create the print function. All you need to do, please, let's remove this one first to make the screen bigger for better visibility. And so this is how the print function looks. We say print, and then we have a bracket, and we can have double quotes inside, and then this is it. You can now have your text, whatsoever you want to write inside. You can go ahead and just write, and Python will print it out for you. You can write out whatsoever you want, and it will print it out. So that's how the print function, right? So let me just print out my name. I'll say my name is Benjamin. So if you don't know my name is Uka Benjamin. So that's my name, and I am a data scientist, a machine learning expert, and I also am a pro when it comes to data engineering. So I will just do the run and it will print this out for me. So congratulations guys, you already know how to use the print, and you can also print numbers, and I will show you. Let's create a new cell and you print numbers. You can say print, we add a bracket here, and you can say 4 plus 6, and when you run this, guess what is going to happen? It's going to print out the value, which is 10. 4 plus 6 is 10. So guys, congratulations. So let's move over to the next one. I'll add another markdown here, and the next thing I want to teach you now is what is known as data types in Python. I am just going to run this one, and when I run it, since it's a markdown, it's going to get saved as a header, and it's not going to run like your normal code. So the data types talks about the different types of characters that are accepted to be used in Python, and I'm going to show us the first type of data that we can use, or the type of character that we can use. The first one is known as string. S-T-R-I-N-G, string. This means using alphabets, and so we can write the name of a man, the name of a boy. These are just text, so we can say string is equals to text. Please don't run this. Don't run this. I'm just illustrating something for us. It's just a simple illustration. If you run this, it's going to give you error. So the next one we can also, the next character also we can use in Python is what is known as integer, int, and this also talks about numbers in Python, like numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. There is another one called float, and this float actually talks about numbers but with decimals, and we can have 5.8, and we can also have 2.0. Please take note that 2.0 is a float, but 2 is a number, so there's a big difference between 2 and 2.0. so this is a float, so we can even have 7 point this and 7.68793, as many as you want to put after the whole number, and this becomes a float. There is another that is called a boolean, and what is a boolean? This talks or tells you that a statement is either true or false. Okay, so this means we have true, which starts with a capital letter, so this is actually a sentence case, true, or we have false. And we also have the another one which is called the logic character, and this includes things like words like and, or, is, if, and the likes of them. We can even have else. So these words are known as Python keywords, logical words. So guys, please pay attention. I'll be teaching you everything you need to know to become a professional Python programmer, a professional, not just any. I will take my time to impart into you an excellent kind of knowledge, and you will make a difference in your career, whether as a data scientist, a data engineer, whatsoever tech field you are getting into, you'll become a pro using Python. And so we also have another one here. I'm just going to tell us, which is the arithmetic. We can do calculations, so they include we can say 3 plus 5, and so we can use the plus sign, the addition. We can also use the division, we can use the equal to, we can use the subtraction. So we can apply arithmetics inside Python. So Python is the most simple programming language that anyone can learn. You can become a professional Python programmer in just a short period of time. We can also use symbols in Python. So the next one is symbols, and this include symbols like we have the equal to, which I already wrote down. We have the parentheses, open and close. We have a lot of them. We have the greater than, we have the less than, we have the column. So there are so many symbols. These are called syntax in Python. So there are various syntaxes we can apply, and there are times you use each of them, and there are times you use them and you get error. So every syntax has a time for its application in Python. So congratulations, you are already in your path to being a pro Python programmer. And so the next thing we will do now is we will learn the input function. I'll add a markdown, and I'm just going to write this as a header, call it input, and I will click on Control and enter at once, and that's the shortcut for running. And so we have added the header. And so what is the input function? This is an input function. The input function is something that enables you to reply or to give your response or to add an input. Okay, so let's say I print out a statement. Let's say Python print, what is my name? I'm asking a question and say print, let's display the question, and we put it inside the brackets, and we add a double quote, and we say what is my name? Please take note. And I am just going to run this, and when I run this, it's going to give me this, what is my name? Please take note, this is what we get as a response, what is my name? And so what if I want to respond to this question? I'll be able to use the input function for that. And so I will use the input function. Remember, to use the print function, we actually wrote print with our parentheses and our quotes. And so right now, instead of print, we'll be using input. And so we'll say input. And so we also add our brackets and our quote. Remember, we have two here, one on the left, one at the right, and then your text stays inside, and you will say space. And when you run this, a little box is going to pop up right here at the top, and it gives you the privilege of typing your answer. And so my name is Ben. I will type it, my name is Ben, and when I click enter, you see down here the response is going to appear here as our output. So this is how we use the output function in Python. And so to add a code, just come down beneath here, you see this, the code symbol will show up, and you tap on it, a new cell is going to open. And let me do this in another way. Let's say input, and then let's add a bracket. You can decide to add a space before the bracket just to make your code look cleaner, or you can just put the bracket straight in front of the input. Since it's a text, if it's a number, you don't need to add a double quote. You just put your quote. Since we're dealing with the text now, I will say how old are you? And so I'm going to type this, how old are you? And there's a question, and then since we want a response, let's add a space so that Python can bring in a response and put them right here in this space. So I will just run this, and when I run this again, remember the window is going to pop up and it says here how old are you, and I'm going to type in my answer. And so if you want to remove this, you can press escape, or you just type in I am 30 years old, and then you click enter, and so it's going to show your output here. So congratulations, this is how you use your output, your input rather. It's so simple. You use it to input a text to give a response to your code. Congratulations. Let's go over to the next one, which is called a variable. So I'll just add a markdown right here, and I'm going to write the name as a header, which is called variable, and I'll save this by doing Control Enter. And so what's the variable? The variable in Python serves the purpose of just, you can call it your storehouse, and this storehouse you can keep your information inside and use that information whenever you want to use them. It's a storehouse for storing codes, information, text, whatsoever information you want to use later in the future, you can store them in a variable. And so this is how to use a variable. A variable needs to have a name and then the contents of that variable, which is the things you're storing inside. So let's give our first variable a name, and we'll call this name. And we can say name equal to, now we want to provide the contents of that variable. So we can say name equal to, since it is a text, if I'm writing a text and I want Python to know it's a text, I need to use a quote here. You can either use the double quote or the one single. You see, Python, the VS Code will automate everything for you, and it will give you the first and the second, and your text need to be inside. So I'm just going to type my name, and I'll say my name is Benjamin Uka, and I can save this now. So even later in the future, I don't need to start writing my name again, Benjamin Uka. All I need to do is just go to that warehouse, which is the variable, and then bring in my name. So I'm just going to run this now, and when I run this, it's going to get saved inside name. And so because it's a variable, I did not add the quote, one on the left, one on the right. There was no need for the double quote. And then I can come here, let's say later in the future, in the next 5 years, I want to know my name or the spelling of my name. I can just come here, instead of writing my name again, I can just say, please, I want you to print, and I'll add a bracket, and I'll say name. And when I run this, it's going to print out my name, because why? I have actually stored my name inside this variable. And so you can create more variables, and you can store numbers, you can store text, you can even say my details is equal to, you can add a text here, and you say my name is Ben. Take notes, you can add a comma, and my name is Ben, I am 30 years old. Okay, and so when you run this, it gets stored in this variable. And if you want to get the details of Mr. Ben next time, all you need to do is just to click on code, and then you say, please print out his details for me, and it's going to print it out for you. And you see, you say print out details, and it's going to print out his details. And so since you are using Notebook, which gives us privilege for interacting with our code, you can just call forth details without even using print, and it's going to display whatsoever have been stored in details. So let's just say details, and when you run this one, it's going to publish an output which says my name is Ben and I am 30 years old. So this is how you can store items or store information in your variable. Guys, congratulations. Please just keep the calms. All I need you to do is look, listen, and learn. I'm going to make you a professional Python developer. Whether you're aiming at being a good data scientist, machine learning expert, data engineer, data analyst, or a web designer, web builder, whatsoever is the reason why you are learning Python, I'm going to make sure I teach you the rudiments and the fundamentals of Python, and I'll make sure you become a pro. And so now the next one I want you to learn is what is known as Python keywords. I've added a markdown, and I'm just going to type this as the heading, Python keywords, and then let's save this. And what are Python keywords? You must understand that there are some words that Python have been trained to understand, and whenever you type these words, you don't need to tell Python the meaning of these words. And some of them include words like and, why, or, is, if, or not, so many of them. And so there are a lot of them. As we proceed, you will know all those Python keywords. And so Python does not need you to tell Python I'm talking about and if I type and, or while is while, or this is what, or is represent. Python understands the meaning of these words. Python knows when to use and how and when these words should be used. Python have been built to understand and recognize and understand each of these words. We can also have words like else or a leaf. So there are many of them. Congratulations, guys, you're already on the right pathway to becoming a pro. See, I love you so much, and I'm going to take my time, which is what I'm doing, to teach you everything you need to know. I've been programming with Python for some years, for quite a long time, and I have good experiences when it comes to teaching, and I'm going to teach you. That's why I'm breaking down everything. I just love you, and I'm giving you this thing for free. I want you to join the world of tech, and also become a tech expert. So guys, congratulations. Please clap for yourself. Okay, over to the next one. The next thing I want to teach you is something very important, and it is called list. I've created another markdown, and I will just add the name as a header, and this is called list. And so what is a list? Just the same way you can create a list of your shoes, different type of shoes you have in your wardrobe, a list of food, a list of items. That is the same way you can also use list here in Python. And I'm going to show you using this example. Let's create a list of fruits. Let's say you want to go to the market tomorrow to buy fruits, and you don't just want to go there and forget the fruit you want to buy. So store them in a list, go with the list. And so this time around, we're going with our computer, and we're storing the list in Python, and we're going with our PC to the market. Okay, let's just create the list. So the list needs to have a name, and so we'll give it a name, and we'll call the name fruits. And so fruits is working the same way the variable works, and so we'll say fruits is equal to. Now this time it's not just going to be a variable, it's with content, it's going to be a list. And so to create a list, you need to use the square bracket. This is the square bracket. This is the square bracket. This is how it looks. So this is the square bracket. So to create one list, you need one square bracket. So we need to create a list. So we can just say fruits is equal to a square bracket, and inside we can add the information of the list. And so since there is a list of fruits, we have to write them using string, which is a text, and then we'll add a quote, and then the first one here is mango. And so we have mango. To add another fruit, just go again and add comma, and then let's add the next one, which is orange. We'll add again this, and we'll say orange, and let's add the last one, and we will say berry. Now if you should run this, it's going to give you error, because this one is recognized by Python as a text, but this is not a text, and it's not a variable. Why? Because there is no quote on the right and on the left side. So let me just run this and show you. It's going to output error. It says name berry not defined. So to tell Python, oh, this is actually a fruit and it's a text, not a number, not a boolean, not a symbol, let's just add this. And so I'm just going to add this, and if I run it again this time, it's going to get stored in this variable, and this is the name. And so whenever I want to see the items in that list, all I need to do is just come over and I will run fruits. And when I run fruits, you'll see the items in that fruit list. Congratulations. So we can also add more items. We can work with this list, we can remove items, and I'm just going to be taking us from one stage of this list in Python to the other, and at the end you'll be able to create a list. You'll be able to duplicate your list, remove items and add items. You'll be able to delete your entire list. Sets in Python, actually a set is an unordered collection of items, like that is, it is not in an orderly manner. I will just give us an example. Let's create a new cell for this. You come under here, you click on code, and please pay close attention. And I'm just going to type in or create a list of alphabetical letters. And so you see here we have letters is equals, and this is the list, and we have A, B, C, A, B. So A appears twice. And one thing you can do with this set, we can actually print out these items or have these items printed out uniquely. And so I will just show you how this works. Please pay calm attention. All you need to do, first run this one and we'll save this. Remember, A appears twice, C appears once, and B appears twice. Okay, let's produce this list in a unique way so that we only have one item. There's no need writing apple twice in our list. Like we have here, the list for fruit is unique and we have orange ones. And so here in our alphabet list, we want to also have A appear once. And all you need to do is to use the set function, and which is called, we say set, and we have in brackets, we have the variable, which is the name of the list. Please be careful of what you type in. We have here letters, and you see when I run this, it will produce the list in a unique way. And so we have here set in brackets the name of our list, and you see it appears in a unique way. It appears in a unique way. And so the same way you use your list, the same way you can also use your set. And so we can also add an item to this set, and all we need to do is to click on this and we can just say letters.add. Now I will show you how to do that. First, let's put everything inside a variable, and we're going to do it this way. We're calling our variable unique letters is equals to set. So we're storing everything inside this one. Please take note. So all we need to do is to use the add function. For list we used append, but this time we are going to use what is known as the add function, and we are just going to say dot add, and we have a bracket. Let's say we want to add another letter, we want to add D, and so we can just run this and it's automatically added. So let's check and see if it's inside. So we just call this and we run this, and you see D has been added. So what if we want to remove an item from our set? All you need to do, please pay close attention. We will also come here, and when we come here, we are going to be using dot remove, and when you run this, it's going to remove that item from our set, and that is how it works. And it will still return everything in a unique order. And what if we want to clear every item? What if we want to clear all the items from this set? Remember, the set works like the list. All we need to do also is to still say let's copy this to make our work faster, and so we say dot clear, and we have our brackets. And so if you run this now, you will clear everything in the list and your list will become totally empty. So if you come over here now, we've cleared our list, and let's see if we have anything in that set list. You see the set is totally empty. It actually told you set, see set. There's no set here, but it knows and it recognizes the fact that this is a text. This is a set, and it produces the name here. Say the set is totally empty, because if there's something, you will see it inside here. So congratulations guys, this is what the set is, and this is how we can use the set. The next one you will learn now is something called tuple. So I'll create a markdown for this, and I'll write the name of this, which is called tuples. Please look at it. It's called tuples. I'm going to say, so what is a tuple, or what are tuples? A tuples or tuple is actually an ordered collection of items. Now you can save so many items together in different variables at once. This is what I'm talking about. I will show you. Please take the comms. Let's add a code, and I'll screw this one above, and I'm just going to say name. Please take note, this is a first variable. We can have too many variables and their content stored together instead of just creating different cells for each one of them. I'll say name, then the next one will be age, then I will say continent, and then I can say equals to. The first one here is my name, and I'm just going to add a quote to tell Python that this is actually a string, and I'll call my name Ben, and then I'll go over and I'll add. You see, the beautiful thing here is that you can add these variables all at once. We have name, age, continent, so all of them will use one equal to. Please pay close attention. And so for the first one here being name, I give the value, which is the content. Remember, this is the key and this is the value of the key. And so Ben, and so for the other one, which is age, we'll say age is also Ben is 30 years old, and we add comma, and the last one is continent, and then where's Ben from? Ben is from Africa. So I'm going to add Africa. Now for the number, which is age, this is a number, and that is the reason why there is no double quote. You see this one, there's a double quote, there's a quote here, and so there's no, because this is actually a number, an integer, and not a text. And so if I run this one, Python is going to save this for me. Python has actually saved this for me. So if I run it again, it's already saved. So you say it sees the success sign here. It says success. And I can decide to use any of them later in the future. So let's ask Python to do something for us. I want Python to print a sentence for me that will include some of these. And so let's just say, Python, please print, take note, take note, take note, take note, take note. Please pay attention. I want to do something that will look a little bit technical here. And so Python, please print. This, the first one we'll add is a text. Let's say my name is, I will add a comma. Now before I do that, if I run this one, if I should run only this one, it's going to print my name is. And so instead of typing Benjamin again or Ben, my name is Benjamin, don't forget, and I'm from Africa. And for these 30 years, am I really 30 years old? Oh, you will find out very soon. And so if I want to find get the details of my information and I don't want to start printing everything afresh, I can use the tuples. The tuples is actually going to help me. I will use tuple, and I've actually stored everything here in a tuple in just one line of code. So I'm just going to say print my name is, print my name is, print my name is. I want to put this in a sentence. I can actually just come and say, please take note, I want to teach you something very important. I can say print in brackets name, and if I run this, it's going to print name being Benjamin because name has been stored. But I want to make this a sentence. It's a bit technical this time, and so it says print my name is. I can add a comma, and all I need to do is say name. My name, listen, print my name is name. So print this one as a text. Why? It's inside the bracket and inside this quote. So anything inside this quote and covered with these parentheses in front of the print, it will print it out as a text. But when there's no quote at the front and at the back, it will treat it as a variable. So right now we have this variable already stored in this tuple. Look at this. So it says name is equal to 30, age is equals to, name is equals to Ben, age is equals to 30, and continent is Africa. So if I print this out, I'll just run this. It's going to say my name is Ben. And so let's continue this sentence. We can say, comma, we'll add another text here. Please take note. Let's say I am. We add our age. We'll add comma. Take note. If you do not add comma, it's going to try to join everything together, and you cannot just join the string like that to your variable. It's going to give you error. Okay, so let me just show you. It's going to give you an error. So it says invalid syntax. Please take note, it says invalid syntax. So you should add a comma here, and so just click on this, go back and add a comma. I am 30. Let's add a text again. And so if I run this one, it's going to work like a bomb. My name is Ben. I am 30 years old. And let's continue. I want to add my continent, which is Africa. And to do that, I will still add a comma. Or we can even add a comma. Okay, let's add a comma and say I. Put a full stop here. Let's make this sentence look clean and look nice. Say I am from, and we add a comma and introduce the other variable, continent. You see, and so if I should run this, you say it's going to produce it's going to produce my name is Ben, and my name is Ben, and Ben, I am 30 years old. I am from Africa. So this is how you can use your tuple. Okay, so you can just pause this lesson, write so many tuples, put them together, form a sentence, fix them inside a variable. Okay, so that's how it works. Let's just create something else. I'll show you another example. And let's say you can also do, let's save this as A. That's the name of the key, the name of our key, which is also the variable name. And then let's say 6 plus 8. Let's have another one here. Let's store this as B is equal to, take note, please be patient. Let's say today is Friday. And let's still add another one. And let's call this one C. And I'll say I am hungry. Okay, so in a quick one, I want you to use this on the screen. Just do it as an exercise and create a tuple. This is actually working like a tuple, but I want you to put it in a tuple form. Okay, in a tuple form, and then create a sentence using everything here. Okay, let's just do it. And so all you need to do, first of all, let's run this one, and we save everything there if you like. And so we can just say A, take note, A, comma, B, and comma C is equal to, we can now say, listen, Control C, let's copy this one, the first one, paste it, and then others will follow. Okay, and then let's just run this. It says here is an invalid syntax. I added comma twice. I'm going to take one. And so it's very sensitive to errors and to syntax issues, so be careful. And so when I run this, it's actually going to save every item here in a tuple form. And so we have 3 items stored, 1, 2, 3, and these are the values. And so you can actually create a new code cell. And when you create that code cell, you just come down here. We can say today, let's put a print and say print. Then please take notes. Please take notes. Let's say print A, print B, and print C. And we can also do like print C first, print A, and print B. So we can just say print C, take note, print C, print B, and print A. Run this, and then it says, I am hungry. Today is Friday and 14. So congratulations. This is how you can use your tuples. You can use your tuples. Congratulations. Let's move over to the next one, which is dictionaries. I'm going to add this markdown, and I'm just going to add the name, and I will call this one dictionaries. And what is a dictionary in Python? Please, this lesson is getting more and more interesting. I got the spelling wrong, so I'll just fix this. So what is a dictionary in Python? Pay close attention, please. What is a dictionary in Python? I'm asking you, yes, what is a dictionary in Python? I want you to give yourself a good answer, and I'll come in and tell you if you're right. Okay, just a quick one. A dictionary is actually a data structure that stores data in a data to key value pair. That is just like we have here. Please pay attention. Just like we have here the tuples, and we have the key and then the value, but this time it's going to be coming in a structural way. It's going to be looking more better, just like a table, like a data frame. So that's what a dictionary is, and it is actually a data structure that stores data in key value pair. So we have the key and we have the value, and we can also store many lists to make up a dictionary. Okay, we can store so many lists to make up a dictionary. Just take it to be like your normal school dictionary. You want to get the meaning of father. Let's say you want to get the meaning. We've already started, please pay attention. So we'll create a new one here, and we want to get the meaning of father, and we have a dictionary called family. And in this dictionary, we have the details and information of everyone in the family. And so the name of the dictionary is family. And so we look for words inside. And so to search the meaning of those words, we have to first know the keywords. And so let's create a dictionary. We have dictionary called family. And so to create the dictionary, we use the curly brace. This is called curly brace. We say dictionary is equal to, this is the curly brace. Note that it's very different from the square bracket. This is the square bracket, and this is your ordinary bracket or your parentheses. So these are different. So to create our dictionary, we use the square bracket, and the first thing that we will write inside is the key. This time we're not calling it the variable anymore, we're calling it the key. Okay, so key, the first key is going to be a text, which is father. And so who is the father? Let's store the value inside, and so we'll use a column. We can say father. So father is John, and so then that's a name which is also a string, and so we call John. And let's run this and see what happens. If you run this, it's going to get saved, and we can come here. We've created a dictionary, and in that dictionary we have father, and father means John, or the father in this dictionary is John. So this is the key, and this is the content or the value. So we can actually call family again, and when you run this, it says father is John. So we are getting the whole content of the dictionary. Okay, so that's how we can create a dictionary, and we can also create a dictionary with multiple keys inside, and I'm going to be showing you how to do that. To do that, just come over to this one we created. Okay, let's create it afresh, so that our code will look clean and neat. So we can just copy this one and we paste it over here, and that's the first item in our dictionary. Let's add another one. Let's add mother. Our mother's name should be Mary. So if we add the comma sign, we can start typing here, and we give space, and we say mother. Outside the other quotes, we say mother column, and then we write the name of mother, which is Mary. Okay, and so I'll run this, and when you run this, it gets saved. And if you call mother again, or let's say you want to call the entire family and see what's inside the dictionary, we'll just call it, and it's going to say we have these words inside, and father means John, or father is John, mother is Mary, and this is a dictionary. We just created a fixed dictionary. And so there are other things we can do with this dictionary. We can alter the dictionary by adding a new key. Okay, we can add a new key and a new value. So let's say we want to add uncle to this dictionary. All we need to do is to call the name of the dictionary, which is family, and we can say family, and with our square bracket, we are not using append this time, we are using a square bracket, and we just type the name of the new key, and we can just say uncle. Take note, uncle is equal to Peter. Please take note. Why should my uncle be Peter? Okay, let's use uncle is equal to Frank. Uncle is equal to Frank. I will set nephew to Peter, but for now, let my uncle be Frank. So we can say, since it's the text, you can say Frank. And when I run this, the dictionary will automatically be updated. And so I can just check it by saying print our dictionary, which is family. And you see it's already updated. Congratulations, guys. See, I am taking my best, my time, to teach you everything you need to know. I want you to be good in Python. I want you to get your dream job. I want you to run fast in your career as a data analyst, data engineer. See, I have been in this tech world for quite some time, quite a long time, and I can tell you, to get your dream job as a data scientist, you need to master Python, and which is what I'm helping you do. And I'm doing it out of love. I'm giving you this thing for free. So please, I want you to follow the principle called the 3 L. Look, listen, and learn. Look, listen, and learn. So pay close attention. You see, we started with character types, went to print function, and it's getting a lot more tougher. But everything is going to be simple if you look, listen, pay attention, and learn. Okay, let's get over to the next one. What if we also want to update a value inside this dictionary? And to do that, you create a new cell. You can also come to this cell and click down, continue here, and when you run it, everything will get updated. But let's create a new cell for this, and this cell I'm going to call family again. and which of the keys, let's say uncle. Take note, before I stored uncle as Frank. Now let's update that. I'll say it's now equals to no longer Frank. I want to change that value, and I'll say it's now equal to Sarah. Sarah is the name of a woman, so let's say Chris. And when I run this one, it will be automatically updated. And so the next time I will call forth our family for a meeting, you see, we no longer have Frank, it's now Chris. So this is how you can update your dictionary. It's actually very, very simple. So we can also delete a key. What if you want to delete the uncle? Oh, our uncle is so annoying, always off point in every meeting. Let's remove him from this family. Let's remove him. Let's remove Uncle Frank or Uncle Chris. His name was Frank before, and we updated his name to become Chris. We don't want him in this family. But please, we don't want him again. Let's just remove him. And so all we need to do is to come over here, and we'll use the delete function, and we will say delete. Take note, you see the color is different. If we say D, it's actually black here, but when we say delete, you see the color change to blue depending on the coding environment you're using. I'm using VS Code, and I've actually set it to work this way. But automatically, when you install VS Code, it has a preview settings for you, and that's the one we are actually using. And so I'm just going to say delete family. I'm not deleting my entire family, God forbid. I will just put the name of the key I want to delete, and I'm just going to add uncle. But what if I add this one? What if I make this one capital letter, like a sentence case, and I run this? Take note, it says error, and the error is pointing at this uncle. But we have uncle here. You need to be very careful of your spelling. So I have to just come back here, and I will change this to a lowercase, and when I run it again, it's going to work. And we have deleted uncle from the family, and we only have father and mother. Please, every family should have a child or children, and so for now we only have the father and the mother. Let's add children, let's add a child before we move on to the next one, at least to create a better family dictionary. We need children inside. Let's just create one. We will say, please, the same way we created it here, that's the same way we are going to create now. Look, we called the family and we added the key, and that's what we're going to do. So we'll also say family now, and then our square brackets, and then we add the name of the key. We'll add child 1, child 1, child 1, child 1. That's the first child. Or can we just call this first child? First child. First child. We can say first child is equal to Ben. Wow. I'm the first child in this Python family. So I'll just call my name. First child is equal to Ben. Okay. So this is how it works. So we can also add another one. Here, let's say second child. Second child is equals to Sayo. And I'm also going to save this one by running it. And if I should call family again, so you see the dictionary father, we have John, mother, we have Mary, first child is Ben, second child is Sayo. So to view the contents of this family, you can do it this way. Let's view the keys inside the family. Let's view all the keys. Remember, these are the keys and these are the values. And so let's view the keys. We can use the view keys function. So we can just say Python, please, I want to view the keys inside. Let's say print. I'll have our bracket here, and we can say family.keys. Let's add a text first to make it look clean. Let's say print. Let's add the text. We can say the keys are, please pay attention, pay good attention. The keys are, and so let's add a comma, and we can now say family dot keys. Family dot keys, and you can say the keys are this, but it's not working well. It's not working well. We need to add. See, the keys here is a command. It's actually a function on its own, so it needs a bracket. And so if we do it this way, and run it this time, it's going to tell us that the keys are, these are the dictionary keys, and it's actually telling us, yes, this is the keys for the dictionary, and we have father, mother, first child, and second child. So what if we want to only get the value of each keys? We want to get the value of the keys in a dictionary. All we need to do, let's also come here and copy this one, and let's paste it here again. So this time we're saying the values are family.values. And if we run this one, you see it's going to give us that the look, please pay attention, the values are dictionary values, John, so these are the keys, and these are the values. What if I already showed you how to delete a key, right? Okay, so this is how we can print out the values. So, but you can see that this it's not looking nice. It's not looking nice. Let's make this thing look like a table, or let's create a table. We can actually create a dictionary by using a list. So instead of just saying father, we can have so many names as fathers. Okay, so we can have father, Peter, Frank, and so I'm just going to teach you how you can do that one right now. So we'll create a new dictionary, and we'll call this students. So this is a dictionary of students, and we'll call this students. Please pay close attention. You are about becoming a pro. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to write clean and productive Python codes. And I will show you also how you can create a standard data frame, how to create a table, and also how to manipulate your table. You're already becoming a good data engineer, but please keep the calms. Let's continue. So let's create this dictionary called student, and this is actually going to hold the information of students in a particular school. And so we can do this by first, let's create a list. Let's create a list first. Let's create a list. Just leave this one. Leave this one. Leave this one. Don't run it. Just leave that one. Let's create a list. I want to show you how we can create lists and convert that list to dictionary. And so let's create a list. The first one is called name. Name. And we'll say name, not the other name. This name now we're creating is a fresh one under dictionary. And we'll say name is equal to, this is a list of names, and we'll use a square bracket. And so inside this, we are going to add some names. Please pay attention. We're going to add some names, and these are the names we'll be adding. So I've created this list, and these are the names. The same way I showed you how you can create a list. So these are the items inside. We have John, Alice, Bob, and Charlie. So the next thing we will do now is let's go again, enter, and let's create another list called age. Age. So this is the name of the list, and these are the items in the list. Let's create another one called age. And all you need to do again is to say is equal to your square bracket, and the first person can be 16 years old. Let's move the space behind 16. You don't need to use the double quote or quote because this is actually number integer. So we can say the second person is 13. Add another comma. We can say this one is 11. Add another comma. So just like that. Someone is already 20 years. He's an old man. And so let's say 10. And so we have 5 students names. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4. Oh, let's remove this one. Okay, leave them. Let's make this a little technical to help you gain strong knowledge about dictionary. And so we have this one is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so let's go over, and I'll also create a grade for all these ones. Please pay attention. Let's create the next one, and we are going to be calling this one grade, and we'll say grade is equal to, we'll create a list by using a square bracket, and then the grade, the first one has A. Please pay attention. Then the second one is B. Let's give the second student B. Then the third and the fourth one. So, and then let's also add gender. Let's add gender, please. Let's add gender. And we'll say number 4, come down. The fourth line, it's going to automatically add the index of your code, but you can switch this off if you want. And so it's saying 1, 2, 3, 4. Even if you add 5, 6, 7, just continuously. And so let's go back. We will add here gender. And we can say gender is equal to, and the first person is a male, the second is a female. We have male and male. But guess something here. We have the age list as the ages of 5 students, but we only have here 1, 2, 3, 4 students, 4 grades. Okay, and then 5 gender. So it means there is an additional detail here. Okay, see, there's an additional data here, but let's just go ahead. We are learning, right? We are learning. So I'll just run this, and you see it has saved everything. And so I can just come and say, let's get the details in this grade list. I'm teaching you how we can convert so many lists to form a dictionary. And so you see we have it here. Let me remove this cell. So we have actually saved all these ones, all this list. And so all we need to do at this point now to create a dictionary, it's very simple. Remember, first the dictionary needs to have a name. So we say student. Okay, let's call this all students. Remember, we created one here and we already used the word students before. So let's create another variable and give it a name, all students. See, if you create your dictionary name like this, it's going to give you an error. Now, if you run this now, this will be treated as 2 different words. So if I should run this now, it says syntax error. So to join 2 words together easily in Python, you use the underscore. So we've added the underscore. If I run this, it will treat it as a single word. And so we can go ahead and say it's equal to, and we can, let's just say it's equal to 1, and let's see. So you see, all students is equals to 1. So if you call all students again, it's actually going to give you 1. You understand? So all students this time is not equal to 1. Let's create a dictionary using the details and contents of this list, the different lists. We're combining all to form a dictionary now. So you say it's equal to, remember our curly bracelet has to come, curly brace first, and then we now have the first one here. Please pay close attention. Pay close attention. So the first one we need to add is name, and then column, then name. Now take note that we already have a list of names stored in a key called name. So we are bringing it here into dictionary as a variable, so you don't need to add your quote or double quote, one on the right, one on the left, like I taught you. All you just need to do is write it like this. If you use this now, let's say if you use this, Python is going to treat it as a text and is going to say, oh, what you're talking about is name and not name as a list. So it's just going to print out this as a text, NAME, and not as an entire list. Okay, so we are going to remove that, and so that's the first one here, and we will add a comma. We can just continue typing right here, or we can just add a comma and then click on enter. It's going to take us down to the next line, but not just down to the next line. It's going to arrange everything to make our code look neat and sweeter. And so we'll come over to the next one and we'll say age. I will add a column and we'll just say age is what? Age. This age here is this. So instead of just saying the first person's age is 16 and 13, comma, this, we just add everything here. We've already created a list containing all those information, and then we add a comma here. And when you add this comma, you can still come down. We can now say grade. Remember, you have to put everything inside this code, and then we come over, because this is the name. Now we just come over and we add this one here, and we can just call grade, you see, and then we can also come and say comma again, enter another one, text, we can say here gender, and we'll give the contents of the list called gender by just calling gender. And let's see if this will work this time. Let's see if it will work. And so congratulations, we created a dictionary. Okay, we have created a dictionary. But if you don't want to do it this way, you can actually create it directly. And so what you will see, if you are creating it directly, you can just say my students. Let's I don't want us to use this name. Let's not alter this because we'll be working with this variable as we proceed. So let's say my students, join two words using underscore. My students is equal to. So I'm just showing you how you can create it directly. If you don't want to create the list separately, you just want to create the dictionary containing the information of students in your school, you can say then our curly brace, and the first one we can say name, our column, and then you add your list. So you can create the list inside the dictionary and not separately. You know, right here we actually created our list first, the different lists, and then use them in Python. So we can decide, oh, which one we don't want to use. So we can just come here and remove this one, okay, and create your lists like that. And so you can just come here and we can create the list inside, because there are so many items. If it's just only one item, all you need to do is just come here. If there's only one student, you can just come here and then you put his name. You say his name is Sarah. Her name is Sarah. Sarah is a girl, and so, but since there are more than one, just create the list the same way we did there. You can just create your list here, and you say Sarah, and then after Sarah there's another student again. We'll say comma, we'll say Ben is in the class, and after Ben, so just like that. So this is another way you can create it. And then at the end of this list, you come outside the square bracket, you can add your comma, and then you go over to the next one, which is age. So you see, this is how it works. We can also say age, and then we come over here, add a column. After adding the column, we also add a square bracket, and the first person is 32 years old. We add a comma, and the next person is 109 years old. And so that's it. And so we have also created another dictionary. And so when you run this, it gets stored, and let's call it and say my students. And so you see the output, we have created two lists. Congratulations. So you see, Python is a very simple language. It's it's the simplest programming language that anyone can learn. And you see this list and dictionary and set, you'll be using list, dictionary and set in every day of your career as a data analyst, a data engineer, a data scientist. Whatsoever aspect of tech you find yourself, you will always make use of the dictionaries. Okay, so the next thing I want to teach us now, we have created this dictionary. We'll be working with this all students, okay? We've created two, but let's work with that one. So I'll just come here again, I will call all students so that we will have it closer here. And so we have the details of all students. What if we want to duplicate this list? So that if in case in the recent time or nearest future we might just delete this list, but we want to save a copy, all you need to do is to just use the .copy function. So we can say all students. Okay, so we can say all students .copy. So when you type it this way, it's going to apply copy, but we need to copy this and save it somewhere. So we can say another student, another underscore student, another student is equal to all students. So if we remember, this is supposed to be an underscore. So if you run this one now, it's going to save this. So into this, now we have duplicated this one, and or we can even say we copied it. We have copied everything inside this one. It's so simple. Instead of to just start creating another one and say, oh, let's create another list with the same details, you just use the .copy. Okay, and so if you come under here now, you can just say another, and you can see another student. When you run this, you will see it's also the same thing. Okay, and you can, instead of using the another, you can just directly use the equal to. Let's do that. You can say, let's say new list. I'm adding the underscore using this one just to join these two words together, because if I run them separately by adding space, it's going to give me an error. So let's just say new list is equal to all students. And so once I run this, it's going to automatically do the same thing that the .copy function will do, and it's going to say, oh, this one is now equal to this. So when I come over here and I say new list, take note, new list now, it's going to give me that list. So we have duplicated the list. We use the .copy or the equal to duplicate the function. So whenever you see new list, it's telling you that new list is the same thing as all students or another student. So that's how we can do the copy or duplicate our list or dictionary in Python. So the next thing is how to clear the dictionary, to wipe everything. Wow, Do you really think we should do that? But okay, you need to learn how to delete everything, to clear the entire list, okay, to clear everything inside the list, to remove everything inside that list. But we'll still have the list, but it's going to be totally empty. All we need to do is we'll say new list. Remember, we already have new list. Let's clear this new list now. We say new list dot clear. And when you run this, it's going to say success with this tick sign that says success. And let's call our new list again, and you see it will be totally empty. So now, sorry, I've been calling this list, is actually a dictionary, and you see the dictionary is totally empty now. I was using the word list because I really want to learn everything. You can use lists to create a dictionary. So, but this is actually a dictionary. So the dictionary is totally empty now. Empty. I was supposed to sort this as new dictionary. Sorry for that. So let's say new dictionary. You see why using your notebook makes you interact with your code. We actually went back and we edited it, and you see we ran it and it's saved. We can come here, clean this again, and say new dictionary. What am I doing? New dictionary. And you see new dictionary is equal to all students. Let's go back. I want us to start running again. Let's rerun this all students. You see, we already emptied the all students list. Whoa. Okay, let's recreate the all students again. My students, then the all students. Let's recreate all students afresh. Please take note of everything I'm doing. All students will recreate this one. Just rerun it to recreate. Go to that particular code we used to create it and rerun it. It's going to recreate. And so this is all students. Let's see all students. Okay, and then now another student. Let's rerun this. So this is the dictionary. Another student, we've copied it. So if you come here, you still run this one, it's going to give you the output. And so we are saying new dictionary. We want to create a dictionary from this one. I want to call it new dictionary. And so when you click on this one, it's going to save like we saw earlier. And so if you click on this one, it's going to give you the content. Now to clear it, all you need to do is to come here and say let's clear it. If you click on this one, we already did that. You will see it's going to be totally empty. So it says the list is empty. That's why you're seeing the dictionary, the dictionary is empty. If you're very sensitive, you'll notice I did not actually call this one. Please take note. We need to go back. We need to say clear this dictionary. Clear this dictionary. Clear this dictionary. So if you come here and you say my new you find out that the dictionary is also empty. So we have actually cleared that dictionary. Another thing we can do also is to add another value. So I will go back and I'll make sure we have a dictionary. Let's see another student. So we have another student. So let's add another student again to this another student dictionary. Let's add another detail. And what we'll be adding age, another age. So please take notes. I don't want you to get confused at this point. It's getting a lot more technical, but it's very simple. So let's add age, and we'll also add the owner of that age being another name. And so let's just go ahead. All you need to do is to say student, adding another information to this dictionary. So we can say student. But if you call student, take note that it will go back to this other one to start using this other student. So please be careful of which variable you are using. Please be very careful. All we want to do now is to add another information to this one we called all students. All students. Please take note, all students. Okay, so let's just go down to a new cell, scroll down, be patient and scroll down. And then right here, we can just say all students. Okay, let's call it and see. So we have all students. Let's add a new age. Here we have 1 2 3 4 5. So let's add a new age. To do that, we will just say all students, and then we add a square bracket, and then the name of that particular key, which is age. And so remember, it's a text, and we say age. And then where do you want to add this value? Do you want it to become the first one? Do you want it to be the first one? Okay, let's make it the first one. And so in Python, I told you numbering starts from 0. And so all you need to do, you add the position where you want to add it. Local, please, oh, please. And you can also do an alteration. You can also use this pattern I'm about to teach you to alter, please. You can use it also to alter a particular value. And let's also put it in this position by another square bracket, and we can say let's put it in position 1, and then it will come over to this point, and I will add right here the contents, which will be 52. That's the new age. And so when I run this, please take note of what is going to happen. I will go back again and I will check if we have added or altered a dictionary, and I'm just going to say all students again. And when I click on this all student, when I run it, you'll find out that this one now is 52. Okay, so you see we've added a new one, but we did not only add it, we substituted the previous one with this new one. So this is how it works. See, working with dictionary is something that you will always find yourself doing every day of your career as a programmer. Okay, whether you're, no matter the language you're using, Python, Ruby, you will always find yourself creating and using dictionary. Now you must also understand that every table, every Excel file, every table, CSV, whatever, they are products of dictionary. And I'm going to be showing you how we can convert a dictionary to a table. So please keep the calms, watch, look, listen, and learn. We can also use something called the .get function in dictionaries here in Python. And so to do that, we can say let's get the names only. Let's get all the names only. And so we can say all students dot all students, take note, all students underscore, your spellings must be accurate, get, and we'll have a bracket. And what do you want to use the .get to get from the dictionary? Okay, so I'll just add say this one and say okay, the name. And let's see what will happen if we run this. It's going to give us the names of all the students. Why? Because we are using .get. Okay, so what if we also want to say, please, Mr. Python, we need you to give us let's say all students.get their gender. We can also say gender. And when you run this, it will give you their gender specifically. Okay, so that's how we use the .get. There are other functions also, and one of them include the .items. Okay, I'm just going to give you the next few seconds. Pause the video and try how to use this .items. This .items. So just pause the video. Okay, what was the output? Let me just show you. So all you need to do is to say all students dot items And you see, it gave us all the items inside, both the names, say name, these are the names, and it did it serially: names, grade, gender, age, then grade and gender. Guys, so using dictionary is going to make your work more cleaner and more powerful. What if we want to clear everything? Okay, I've already showed you how to clear the dictionary. Let's update their grades, and so we are going to update their grade. To do this, all we need to do is to use the update function, the dot update this time. And so we are just going to say all students dot update. Please take note, dot update. And then right now we can just type in the updates, the new things, the alterations we are making. We are going to be typing them. Are you getting my point? So I'll just show you how we can do that in a short one. So this is it. We have a bracket. Remember, the update function has to go together with the bracket. So let me just remove this one to see how it will look. So we'll say dot update, and then you type in the dictionary sign again, which is this one. Take note, which is your curly brace. And then the first thing you will add is the name of that key. And we are going to say want to update the grade and add more information or change their grades. We can just say grade, and then here we can just come over and add a column. And remember, since this is including not just one but 4 of them, 1 2 3 4, we can just come here. Let's come here and make this quicker. Let's copy this one. So we can copy this one and then just paste our list here. And let's alter this. Let's say this person now has B. This person now has A plus. This one now has C. So we'll just run this, and when you run it, it will get updated. Okay, so to see if it's already updated, let's call all students again. And when you call all students, you will find out that we have updated it. So it's no longer showing us A, B, B, A. It's now B plus A plus C, B and C. So that's how we can update the dictionary. Okay, so let's move up to the next one, which is called pop. And so we can use pop to remove an item from a list. Okay, we can use it to remove an item, and so from a list, and we also use it to remove, I don't know why I'm just using list instead of dictionary. We're talking about dictionary now, please. I'm sorry for that. And so we can use the dot pop. This is how to use it. Dot pop. We use the dot pop to remove an item from our dictionary, and this is how we're going to do it. We'll create a new cell, and then we can just say all students, and then the particular item there, we just say name dot pop and our brackets. And so it says Charlie. Let's run all students again. As you can see, we have removed Charlie from the list of names, and it's no longer inside the dictionary. So guys, using dictionary makes you a pro. It makes you a pro. Okay, and so we can also use append. We can also use append in dictionary the same way you used it in your list. And this is how we can add individual items to the different keys in our dictionary. All you need to do is to add, let's say we want to add a new age. we use the append. We want to add a new age. We can say all students dot append. But if you do it that way, you're going to get an error because this is not just a list, it's a dictionary. So let's say a list first, and the name of that particular list is age. Please take note, age, and we can say dot append, and then the value, let's say 62. And so when you run this one, it's going to add this age to the list of age. And when you run this again, let's run all students, and you see there's 62 added. There was no 62 in the previous one. See, there was no 62 here, but right now we have 62 already added. Congratulations, this is how you can add or append new data into your list inside dictionary. And so this is all you need to know about dictionaries for now. And I want us to convert this dictionary to a table so that it will look better. And so to do that, we'll be using a library called Pandas. What's this library? Imagine you are a student in a school, you want to have access to a particular book. You just need to go to the library, and your school needs to have that library. If that library is not in your school, you have to maybe go online, download the book. But if you have that library in your school, you just need to walk into the library. So let's say I am the school now. I need to build or bring or introduce a library to my school environment, and that is the same thing I'm going to do. And here in Python we call it library module, library or a module. And to be able to use a particular library, you need to make sure that that library is installed. There are so many libraries that have been pre-installed, like time, random, and the likes of them. But for us to be able to manipulate this particular dictionary or data, we need something called the Pandas library. And so all I want you to do to be able to use Pandas library is just click on these 3 lines here at the top, and then you go to terminal. And then when you click on this terminal, you will say new terminal. And right here in our terminal, remember that at the beginning of this lesson we used terminal, and it served as a display screen for all our outputs. And now we are going to be using it as a place to install libraries. Remember, we use the extension to install extensions, but now we are installing packages, and with these packages we'll be able to use resources right in those packages we install. And so the first one here you need to write is pip install. Make sure your data is on, your connection, internet connection is all on and running, and then you say pip install pandas. Okay, and all you need to do now is to click your enter button, and when you click the enter button, it's actually going to start downloading and installing pandas. And so you see, wow, for mine it says requirement already satisfied, because for the sake of this video I already installed the package called Pandas. Pandas is actually a data analysis and data manipulation library, and right inside that library you have access to many tools, many functions, and many commands for real data processing and data manipulation. Okay, so for you it's going to install afresh, and then after the installation is complete, it will return the part of the folder to this folder we created, we are using, and it will return it, and it will tell you installation successful. So guys, pause this video and install Pandas. There are other libraries apart from Pandas, but specifically we are installing Pandas. And while installing Pandas, there are other libraries, mini libraries, that will also install alongside Pandas. Okay, so if you're done installing Pandas, you can just come over here and let's close terminal. Let's hide it, hide the panel. And so since we have already installed it, we can refresh our VS Code and we come over here. We use the function called the import function. The import function is used to invite a library or a model into our workspace. So since we already have pandas installed, we can say import pandas. And let's run this. Once you run this, it's going to give you full access to using this library. And inside this library, like I said, there are so many resources, so many commands, so many things that we can use right here in VS Code through Pandas. So it's going to just run and we'll have full access to using Pandas. So this is the first time, that's why it actually took quite some time to run. And so before we end this lesson, I'll be showing you how to use Pandas to convert your dictionary to a good data frame, okay, a good table, so that it will look professional and look clean. And so we can just say Pandas. Take notes, we can say Pandas. Let's create a variable for this. Let's create a variable for this. Let's call this table is equals to Pandas. Supposed to add equals to here. Equals to Pandas dot data frame. Then in brackets, please pay attention. In brackets, we need to add the names of the students, which is all names. That's the name of the dictionary. And when you run this, it's going to store your dictionary inside this variable called a table. Well, it's saying error, and let's see why we are having error. You can actually read through this information. So to solve this problem, we just have to go through this error information, and at the bottom here it says all array must be of the same length, meaning that the different keys do not have equal number of contents. So we go back here, we can see here it says name is 1 to 3. Remember we removed one, and this one is 1 2 3 4 5 6, and so they are not having the same length of data inside each of them. And so the gender is 1 2 3 4, and it does not correspond with this one. So we have names, 3 names, and we have 6 ages. So they are not working the way it should be. They are not in alignment. And there are, as you proceed, as we progress in the next lesson, I'll be teaching you what Python refers to as null values. Okay, and so, but in this dictionary, everything must align to be able to convert it to a better table. So just in a moment, we'll just create a new one. Let's just go over to this. Let's create a new one, and let's just create a new dictionary. So that was why I wanted us to make that error. You know, initially when I added an additional content inside a particular key which didn't align with the same length of others, I told you it was for a particular purpose. So I wanted to show you how Python can actually disagree with what you have in mind. So let's create this list. Everything here aligns, and so let's create this. We're going to now, let's remove this. Remove this, and we have run this one. So we already have a dictionary called info. So you can quickly create this dictionary. So we have the dictionary, and let's turn this into a table. And all you need to do is to use this same pandas library. And to use the pandas library, we have to use the pandas library as imported. So we have imported pandas, and so let's use it. So we'll be saying table now is equal to Pandas, the same pandas we imported, we call pandas. You can decide to give pandas a name while importing it, but we're calling it pandas, so we'll say import pandas dot data frame. One of the functions in pandas is called data frame, and this is used to create a table. And so you can say bracket, and we'll call the name of our dictionary. This is the dictionary we are using now, the one we created shortly. And so we can say info, and you can just run this. And when you run this, it's going to say success. If you bring your cursor down to this tick sign here, it says success. So because everything in that dictionary aligns. And the next thing we'll be doing, which is the last one in this lesson, we will just click on plus code, and then let's see the content by calling tables. Wow, what you're about to see now will blow your mind. And so if you run this, congratulations, we have converted this dictionary to a table. So Python is a very easy and simple language that you can learn. So congratulations, at this point you're already in the right path of fulfilling your dreams, becoming a good data scientist, a data engineer, or even getting your dream jobs. In the next lesson I'm going to upload, I'll be teaching you how we can manipulate this list, how we can also add more items to the list, how we can delete items from the list, all inside this table. So you see, remember, this is a list, another list, all making up a dictionary which we converted to a table. My name is Uka Benjamin. I'm a data scientist and a machine learning expert. Please, you can watch this video over and over again, and make sure you've watched the other videos I did, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. I love you so much, and that is why I have taught you everything you have learned in this lesson.